will shift into my season. I will soar
Hey,
to my destiny.
what's up?
I will have
Come on into the room. Oh, feel like dancing, huh?
I do.
Here we go.
into my season. I will soar
Mm.
into my
You
destiny.
know about the shoulders. Shoulders.
Shimmy,
Ah.
Ben.
Woo. Come on into the room. We welcome you to the village. Hopefully, you have had yourself a great weekend and an even greater first day of the week. Y'all, it was Monday today. You understand what I'm saying? And we are here on this 6th day of the month. You understand what I'm saying? So we welcome you into the village. We are glad to be having this conversation with you on tonight. If you're coming on, let us know who's out there. Let us know that you're there so we can give you an official greeting into the village on tonight. I'm glad to be in the number one more time. I know they used to say that when I was a kid. They would open service and say, aren't you glad to be in the presence of the Lord one more time? But listen, let me tell you something. I'm glad to be in the presence of the Lord. I'm glad to be in this here life one more time. So we're going to go and slide this down because this person I can have a personal attitude with and I can display it to them in their face. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want to have to do that. I want to love my dear brother Jonathan Dunn. I want to love him and I want to enjoy the music that God allows him to put out without me having to have an attitude because my Facebook clip don't got all muted and carrying on. My YouTube clip don't got took down because they don't flag me for copyright infringement of the sort. We don't want to do that. You understand what I'm saying? We don't want to do that, but we do want to listen. We do want to have fun. We do want to listen to the awesome and amazing sound of the one and only Jonathan Ulysses.
Aloysius is the name.
Aloysius. That's it. Aloysius Jones. Jones Dunn, huh? Come on in here. We welcome you again into the village. You know what it is. You know it's Monday. You see these two faces. You know what that means. But before we get into all of that, there's a question that we ask. You know what it is. Wait for it. Ooh. Are you waiting? All right.
I think they're waiting.
Here it is. How are you doing? That's a question to the room.
I'm doing wonderful.
I hadn't asked you yet.
Oh, sorry.
But hey, you know what I'm saying? I was on my way. I was coming. I was riding down the street. You just jumped out a little bit too soon, but it's okay. Hey, village, the word is, or the question is, how are you doing? But more importantly, how are you doing?
I jumped the gun, but I am doing really good. I can't complain. I can't complain at all. Today has been a good day. Today was a great day. Good day, great day, whatever you want to call it.
Absolutely.
I'm doing very, very well.
All right.
How you doing, sir?
You know what I say? I don't have bad days. I may have a moment, but a bad moment does not become a lifestyle. It just stays a moment. You understand what I'm saying? I don't let moments tear my days up. I don't. I just say, you know what, moment? We had it. Let's move on. You understand what I'm saying? But then I go back to smiling, acting like I act, doing what I do. You understand what I'm saying? So I had a great day today, even in midst of all the craziness that was going on at work. And it was some craziness going on at work. But I can say that I had fun. We made it through. We conquered the day. Can I get somebody out there that just knows that, hey, I'm sitting here, and because I'm sitting here, that means I conquered
Monday. That's
you
it.
conquered Monday. So what does that mean? That means that tomorrow you possibly have the ability to conquer
To do it again.
another day. You understand what I'm saying? And for that, you ought to whisper a thank you out of that big old mouth of yours.
Oh,
And give God the praise
Out of that
because
big old mouth.
let that big old mouth. You know what I'm saying?
wow.
Yes. We stretching out there. We doing the do. Hey, if you got something to say, go right on ahead and say it in the comments field. You know what I'm saying? We will acknowledge your presence. Okay. But you know what we do. We're gonna go on and get this thing started.
Mhm.
Okay. It's Monday. It's after 9:00. And you see these two marvelous faces sitting in front of you. You say, what does that mean?
What does it mean?
I'm glad you asked. It can only mean one thing. That means it's Marriage Village Mondays. Yeah. It's Marriage Village Mondays. Okay? It's Marriage Village Monday. Come on into the room. Let us know how you're doing. We're going to have this conversation on tonight. You understand? I think it's a pretty good topic on tonight. So we want you to go on, engage, ask your questions, take your points. And because you know why we do this?
Why we do this?
We do this because we want us all to grow. We want us all to be informed. And we want us all to get better at marriage and relationships. Okay?
Correct.
And the more information you have, the better wisdom that you have, which means applied knowledge. The more applied knowledge that you have in your life, the more wise you can become. Right. Which means the better you can be. You can be. Turn to your neighbor and say, I can be better.
I can be
better. Yes, I can be better. We can be better. And the way that we get better is being mindful of the things.
Hey, Keita.
That I'm not so
girl.
good at. What's up, Keita?
Sorry, I mean, I did
no,
what
you
you
good.
do sometimes. I'll be getting on you
Don't try to make this about me.
No, I'm saying I did to you.
You jumped out, huh?
Hold on a minute.
Yes,
slow
you jumped out.
She's being accountable, but you're gonna miss the blessing in me being
put
accountable.
It on me. You know what I'm saying?
Going ahead.
Go ahead.
Before I was so rudely interrupted.
Woo!
I was saying I just did to you what I say you always do to me, which is not let you get through your thing before I start greeting people. So as you were.
Oh, okay. Well, since you don't already open up the door, how are you doing, Keita? Are you having? Hey, I see some people out there, and y'all haven't said nothing. Y'all haven't said hello. Y'all haven't said.
Be nice.
Having a good day. Come on. Come with me. What does Dr. Sandy say? Flow with me.
Flow with me.
Flow
Are
with
you flowing
me?
with
Are
me?
you flowing with me?
I love it.
I need you to flow with us on tonight.
I love her.
I need you to come on out there and say how you doing. I need you to go on and let me know who's out there, who's there. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So what are we talking about tonight?
Tonight.
Let the people know what we're talking about tonight.
Yes. So here's what's going on tonight. So a lot of times when we are entering relationships or we're in relationships, whether it's a marriage, a friendship, whatever, we are always looking at, it's just and I'm saying we, just generally speaking, people naturally are looking at what can they get out of a relationship, right? Mm-hmm. So what is that person, are they encouraging? Are they supportive? Can I trust them? So tonight we're going to flip the script a little bit and we're going to ask the question, what do you bring to the table? What do you bring, right? A lot of times we're in a gimme society or culture where everybody wants something, but what are you willing to give, in a relationship? So whether it's friendship, marriage, family, workplace, whatever is in our hearts will eventually show up at the table.
Come on in here.
And so tonight, what we want to do is just kind of jump into that conversation. Let's have a conversation tonight. What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table?
That's a good question. And I think that if more people were willing to ask themselves that question in relationship, that question in marriage, we would have better marriages and we would have better relationships. Because when you take the time before you start expecting anything from anyone else, you start with yourself and you say, self,
what are you contributing?
What am I bringing to the table? Am I bringing joy to the table? Am I bringing happiness to the table? Am I bringing stability to the table? Am I bringing love to the table? Because a lot of times, the thing that causes issues and problems in relationship is when there is expectation, but there's not equal expectation for oneself. Huh? You expect people to do all these grand and wonderful things, but do you have the same expectation for yourself? Are you laying the same weight that you're laying on other people to show up in relationship for yourself? Are you looking intrinsically and saying, are you good here? Are you good here? Are you good here? Have I done this here? Am I willing to do? Because guess what? If you're not asking yourself these questions, you're leaving a whole lot of real estate on the table. And we don't have time to believe in real estate that can help us on the table. So the question is, what am I bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table? Are you adding value to the relationship? Huh?
And right. And so and what are you bringing consistently? What do I consistently bring? Am I consistent? And what am I consistent in bringing? Am I consistently negative? Am I consistently combative? Am I consistently having a bad attitude or pessimistic? So a lot of times people will say, well, I'm not pessimistic. I'm just a realist. Oh, there's a thin line.
Come on.
There's a very, very thin line, because even in the worst situation, there can be a silver lining.
And you got to be careful with them people that's always saying, I'm a realist, or I'm keeping it real, or I'm a real one. Nobody asks you. The Bible said, let another man sing your praises. Why are you singing your own? See, that right there, that's what we got to look into. Because if you always singing your own praises, if you always are looking at yourself like, I'm a real one. First of all, why are we even thinking from that perspective? Okay? Because that right there shows there's a little bit of pride there in your heart. I'm just going to call it on out there. You know, there's a particular person, a particular YouTuber that I love the brother, but I just think he's so misguided in how he views himself. He's always talking about, I'm a real one and I do this and I do that. But okay, how about what you're not good at? What about what you don't do? What about how you don't show up in certain areas? Okay, let's just look at that. Because again, if the only thing you have to say about yourself is great things, and you can never look and see the things that you're not great at, how can you get better? The best evaluation is what? Self-evaluation. So you should be great at evaluating yourself first. You should be great at looking into what you're not good at first, because now it will give you the ability to have a humble approach when someone else is maybe not showing up how they should, because now you can walk up in a little bit of grace, a little bit of care, and a little bit of concern. And you should care, and you should be concerned, and you should want people to feel like they can come into the relationship and grow and get better along the way. If you're not giving people the ability to be better, shame on you. Hold on. I think I just saw the Reverend Dr. Hey, Paulette, how are you doing, Paulette? Huh?
Good to see you on these Facebook streams.
Welcome into the village. And those of you who are out there, we love you too, Paulette. Those of you who are out there, come on into the room. Let us know that you're there. But we're having this conversation. And what are we talking about again? Let them know.
What do you bring to the table? All right. What do you bring to the table in any relationship? Now, again, this is not just talking about marriage, but if you're single, it's definitely talking about,
come on,
what are you bringing into the relationships that you are entering into? You know, a lot of times, like I said, when we started, this culture is a very give me, all about me, give me. What can I get? What can I get? And really, when it comes to kingdom culture, what can we give is what that should be the lens that we're thinking
absolutely
and looking through. And so a a lot of times, so that's a perfect lead in. A lot of times what we bring into relationships is the result of what we've allowed to enter our gates.
Come on.
All right. And so this was a perfect lead in. We talking about gates this month in Church in the Village Bible study. Shameless plug. Tune in on Tuesdays at 7. But so what were we talking about when we say gates? Those openings in our flesh, in our senses, where things can come in and get trapped. And then what would happen? So your eye gate, what you're watching, your ear gate, what you're listening to, the gate of your heart and your mind, right? What's in your heart? What's in your mind? A lot of those things, a lot of what we bring to the table is a result of what we've allowed or what we've experienced in other relationships and what we've exposed ourselves to through our gates.
What are you allowing yourself to be guided by?
Mm-hmm.
What are you allowing yourself to be conditioned by? Because all of us are being guided and conditioned by something. So the question is, what are you allowing to guide you? What are you allowing to condition you in the area of how you see yourself and how you see yourself showing up in marriage and in relationship? Yeah. Because guess what? You're doing one or two things. You're either being a value add or a subtraction. You're either being a value add or you're being a subtraction. So if you're being a value add, that means that you're bringing things to the table that make both of us grow, that make both of us better, that gets us both in a place where we are moving forward, we're moving ahead, and being better is a part of that process.
Absolutely. We
care about how we show up. We care about how we handle one another. We care about what we say. We care about what we do. When that scripture talks about guard your heart with all diligence, because from it comes all the issues of life, that means that it is not always it's not talking about how people are handling your heart. It's talking about how you're allowing yourself to handle other people in their heart. Wow. And how are you allowing yourself to be conditioned by what's coming out of you, guarding what's coming out of you, not about so much what's coming into you, but it says it's not what goes into you that defiles you, but what comes out of you. So what's coming out of you, and is what's coming out of you adding anything to anyone else? Can anyone get any value from what you say and what you do? Mm-hmm. See, when you care about how you show up and you're guarding, I start with me first. If me and a person get into it, I'm starting with me first. What could I have done that could have been better in the situation that would have gave the situation a better outcome? I'm always asking that. I'm always wondering what I could have done. I'm always thinking about, what did I not do? Was I not showing up in grace? Was I not showing up in love? Was I not being patient? Was I not being kind? Because these are the things that you should be caring about when you're dealing with other people, and you care about what I'm bringing to the table. Yeah. If you care about what you bring to the table, you care about how you show up when you come to the table.
Very much so. So we're gonna jump right in right out the gate. Point number 1. Relationships reveal what's in our hearts. Relationship reveals what's in our hearts. What are you saying? When you are in a relationship, what is in your heart for that person, for that situation, is going to come out. They have a way of revealing what's really inside of us. So if selfishness is really inside of you, when you get into a relationship, that's what's going to come out. Mm-hmm. Right? If genuine care and concern for people is inside of you, that's what's going to be reflected in that relationship. So that relationship is going to reveal, what's really in your heart.
Well, the word says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak. So what is more in you will come out of you through your speech. Mm-hmm. What is more in you will come out of you with how you let this thing handle people. Because this thing can be reckless.
You got that right.
This thing can be trifling. This thing can be a whole problem if you're not. And it's also, if you should be watching what's coming out of it, because what's coming out of it is showing you what's in it. If the only thing you have is negativity coming to your mouth, then 9 times out of 10, what's more in you is negativity. It's more times than not. Every time you get in a situation, you cussing, you flying off the handle, that is showing what is more in you is the things of this earth and not the things of God. It's showing what's in you is what you want and not what's best for someone else. So the question is, what are you seeing and what are you hearing when you're paying attention to what's coming out of you? What are you hearing? What are you seeing that's coming from your person? And how is what you're saying and doing impacting someone else, impacting the people that you are in relationship?
Yeah. So when you're when you're stressed out, when you're misunderstood, when you're disappointed, what comes out? What rises to the top? That's what I'm saying. You know, that's what we're saying. It's gonna come to the surface, whatever's down in there. And so, what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table? So here's what happens. People often experience what's happening inside of us before we even know it's there. For example, if we haven't dealt with whatever's going on the inside, other people are going to experience that, whether we know it or not. They're going to experience that your unforgiveness. They're going to experience. And you might even realize it, but they're experiencing it
in real time and in living color. They're experiencing it in real time and in living color. And what you put out, it can't be unseen. See, a lot of times what we want to do is we don't want to deal with what has been seen. What have you shown other people through your mouth, through your actions, and through your conduct? Because if you're not paying attention to what you have done or what you said and how it's impacted someone, that's a problem. Because now that's why people can walk around years and years and years and be prideful and not see certain things about themselves because they're not paying attention to and allow themselves to see how they're impacting other people. Well, ain't nobody, just because somebody ain't said nothing to you don't mean they don't feel that way. It might just be that they don't feel free enough and or safe enough to have that conversation with you. So now they keep their mouth closed and they don't say nothing because they don't believe that you're going to make any adjustments anyway. Yeah. There have been times in my life where my wife and others have said, you need to say something to this person. I was like, I am not saying anything to that person because they don't care. And they have shown with how they handle other people, they don't care what other people have to say. And that's a problem. When you don't care how you treat people and how you have handled people, you don't care. No, I'm not taking anything that's of importance or near and dear to my heart towards you at all. Nope. Because you have shown me that when people come to you and say certain things about you, you don't care. And guess what? Who want to take something to a person who doesn't care? Who wants to give somebody something a value who don't know how to manage what is valuable?
And I used to tell him a lot of times I would want him to say something because I feel, and maybe it's the teacher in me, sometimes I feel like people still need to hear it, even if they're not going to adhere to what you say. They still need to hear it. You have a filthy attitude. You suck, as a human. Like in a way, you don't. I would probably say that to somebody like that, right? I just wouldn't. But sometimes people need to hear, because and that's the problem in my mind sometimes, because nobody will address it, and they might even continue to be a jerk or whatever after you said it, but at least they cannot say nobody ever said that to me.
Okay, so let me say this. The reason why a lot of times I wouldn't say it, because I know in those moments that person needs to hear it from someone that carries value and carry weight in their life. If I carry no weight in their life, they don't care what I have to say, and it's not going to land anywhere because they don't care.
So let me use it. So I guess what I feel like. So I'm just gonna go here. If it is a pastor that is acting this way, and one of the members comes to him, or one of the, congregants comes, that should impact you. If your member is saying, Pastor, I don't see the love of Christ, and I'm not saying rebuking you openly, but if something is going on, me as a leader, if I've hurt or harmed someone, I want to know, I want to know if I'm not showing up in the best way as a leader. But for some people, they don't care to hear that.
They don't care.
They just don't care to hear that.
And
So
their actions show they don't care. Their actions show they care nothing about what you said. So that would be casting your pearls among swine.
I got you.
I'm not wasting my time with you, because now if I do that, then the other thing comes out of me. Oh, you don't care? I'll show you how to care.
Oh no.
I ain't gonna say what I would do, because I'm not that person anymore, and I'm not gonna what forecast what's no longer here, right? So, but in days past, I would have handled that a certain way, and so now because I know me. See, this is the thing. Because I've evaluated myself.
Mm-hmm.
I know what things trigger me. No, I'm not giving you that. I'm not giving a reckless person my interpersonal stuff, because you don't know how to handle it. And obviously, with how you're handling other people, you haven't looked into yourself to be self-aware enough to know how you show up in these moments. So when I see that you have mishandled others, I was right there. I saw it with my own eyes. I'm good, because I already know. Hey, daughter, how are you doing on tonight? Welcome back into the village. And if any of you are there, we welcome you. Say hello. Let us give you an official greeting. You understand what I'm saying? But again, if you just came on, we are talking about,
what do you
bring to the table?
Come on.
You were supposed to say it.
It's a team effort.
I know. All right. So what's point number 2?
Point number 2, every relationship table has invisible guests sitting in the chairs.
That's good.
All right. I'm gonna post that.
That's
every relationship
good.
table has invisible guests sitting in the chairs.
Who are your invisible guests?
All right. So some of those invisible guests could be old wounds,
Woo!
unresolved hurt,
Oh, Jesus.
fear of rejection, past betrayals,
Man.
disappointment, and unmet expectations, which we spent a whole 2-3 weeks on expectations. But those invisible guests that are sitting in those chairs, again, old wounds, things that, people have wounded you, and it goes right into the next one, unresolved hurt. So because you were wounded in a previous time and you never got that dealt with, you never got that hurt resolved.
Yeah.
Sometimes you won't get a resolution from the person that hurt you. So you're going to have to go to God and begin to, just kind of do that inward work, that spirit work.
Absolutely.
With Holy Spirit, partnering with Holy Spirit.
Absolutely.
To get healed. And not just healed, but made whole.
Absolutely. I think a lot of times what happens is, and we do a session from time to time in the village called Dealing with Your Stuff. Dealing with the stuff that has plagued you and caused you issue in relationship over and over. If these things keep showing up in relationship, these things are things that you need to look into and get dealt with. Like if you have childhood trauma, guess where that childhood trauma is going to show up in? Your relationships.
In your adult relationship.
Absolutely. You're going to be acting like a full child, like a big old baby.
A grown
and people will be
baby.
like, what is going on with this person? Why? Because it's undealt with. It hasn't been healed. It hasn't been addressed. It hasn't been taken to the clinic or to the doctor. Maybe it needs to go to the ER. You need help right away. Don't ignore it. Go get help.
Get help.
Deal with the stuff, because if you're not dealing with it, it is causing you problems. And it is bringing issues into all of your relationships, not just your intimate relationships, not just your marital relationships, not just your friendships, but all of your relationship is experiencing that person.
For sure. So how does that show up at work? Some of y'all be like, well, I don't act like that at work. Yes, you do. When they don't call you or they don't go with your idea and then you kind of go inward and be like, yeah, the last time I was in this other job and they never listened to me. That is a sign that something is unhealed, right? Because and it's that old wound that was never addressed. Then you have the fear of rejection. What does that mean? Just because somebody doesn't accept your idea, or in that relationship, you come to your first disagreement, or maybe you don't see eye to eye, or they don't go along with what you want, then automatically you're overtaken with grief and rejection. That's an unhealed thing.
And you shut down.
Yeah.
And you stop being operable. See, anything that causes you to not operate, anything that causes you to be inoperable, that is a sure sign that some healing is needed.
Yeah.
Some fixing in some attention and attending to needs to happen. Because guess what? If it's not happening, it's coming out. And when it's coming out and it's not being addressed, that means you are continuing in a way without getting the appropriate help to get it resolved. Mm-hmm. If this thing shows up everywhere, you have the same problem with different people, that is something that has gone unaddressed for a while. Mm-hmm. If every relationship you have a problem with, if every job you go to, you have a problem with leadership. Every church you go to, you have a problem with leadership. Every relationship you have a problem with people leading. That is, you have a problem.
Yeah.
And you need to deal with that.
Yeah.
And the question is, are you dealing with it? When you ask yourself the question, how am I showing up in this place here? It causes you to have to look into how you're showing up. It causes you to look into what things, the negative things that are coming out your person that are negatively impacting other people. If you don't care how you're impacting other people, then you need to stop doing relationships.
Yeah. If you're expecting current relationships to pay for what previous relationships did or did not do, that's an invisible guest.
Listen, the prophet Music Soul Child said, I'm not to blame for the pain that was caused by previous cats. So if you're operating in a pain in a particular relationship and that person has nothing to do with where that pain is coming from, you need to understand that you are dealing with one of your invisible guests has just shown up. They have shown themselves. They have sat at the table and announced themselves. They said, I am here. What are you doing with that? When your invisible guests start to speak out of turn, act out, get crazy, what are you doing? Are you paying attention to it? Are you addressing it?
Here's another one.
Let's
invisible
go.
guest. When well-meaning or good intended feedback is always interpreted as an attack, that's an invisible guest. There's an invisible guest at your table, right? You want people in your life that you trust enough to give you feedback. And at work, you doggone for sure want some feedback at work, right? Because nobody wants to go to a job every day or spend their time in a career and they're not getting feedback about how well they're doing, or if they're not doing something as well as they could, right? So when people come to you, assess, when people come to you and give you feedback or, to try to help you, how do you interpret that? Do you receive it as an attack?
Man.
If so, there could be an invisible guest.
No. There is an invisible guest. Because if a person can't get, this is the thing. If you have a desire to evaluate anything, if you have a desire to evaluate yourself, to know how you are showing up, well, the way that you find out how you're showing up is through people telling you what they evaluated from the actions of your person. And that's going to show up in feedback. People are going to give you feedback. And you should be able to take feedback without always feeling like somebody trying to hurt you or harm you or talk bad about you. You need to hear what you're not good at. You do. If you are not good at communicating, why would you want to be the first one talking when you're not good at communicating? But if you're the first one always trying to talk, but you're horrible at communicating and no one can say to you, hey, you might want to go take a couple of what's that one? The one class that we used to take that help you with speech, public speaking.
Toastmasters.
You need to go sit in a couple of sessions with Toastmasters, because now you need to, because what you're going to learn at Toastmasters, they're going to tell you, they're going to evaluate how you're handling dealing with public speaking, and how you're handling people, and how you're handling yourself when, let's just say you're handling yourself and somebody, you got this one person in the class that just keep doing, and now you're taking it personal. They keep no, they just want to know. Some people are just those types of people. They don't mean anything mean to you. They just want to ask all the questions because that's how they learn. That's how they learn. And if you getting triggered because they keep asking you questions, that means that the evaluation process hasn't happened a lot in your life. And you should be willing to allow yourself to be evaluated so you can know what you're good at. If you go into any field, I don't care what it is. It can be computers. It can be being a doctor, being a lawyer, whatever the case may be. What do they do? You got to go to school. And in school, you get evaluated. How do you get evaluated? They give you tests to see where you are with your knowledge. Mm-hmm. And then they give you pre-test, and then they give you the actual test, because they want to know, are you retaining the knowledge? Are you good at knowing what your responsibility is in this particular space?
Facts. So here's one last invisible guest, and then we'll move on to the next. I don't want to stay on these too long, but so a friend or somebody betrayed your trust 10 years ago. Now you struggle trusting people who have done nothing wrong. These people, you just met them, but automatically you don't trust them. Invisible guest.
Listen, okay. How do you know the invisible have now become visible? Because someone else recognizes it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you got, let me say this.
If I'm recognizing it, it's pretty visible.
if your buddies can be seen from other people, listen. Now your buddies what was invisible to them and known to you have become known to us. And what are other people going to say? Is everything okay? This thing just popped out. I don't know where. What's Elder Sis?
Come on.
What's up, sis?
Love you, sissy.
Tonight we are talking about. Come on.
What do you bring to the table?
What do you bring to the table? And
we're talking about. So right now we're talking about the things, the invisible guests, the things that we bring to the table of relationships, that they are invisible guests. They're sitting there, and we may not think other people can see them, but they are. They're able to see. So like old wounds, unresolved hurt, fear of rejection, past betrayals, disappointment, unmet expectations, these things that they're invisible. We think they're invisible. We call them the invisible guests. They may not be like taking up a seat that everyone could see, but when you get into any different relationship, those guests, they're made known to the ones you're in relationship
Absolutely.
with.
And when they made known now, it means we know, we both have knowledge of that guest sitting at the table. Mm-hmm. And now, what does that mean? Now I have to acknowledge that it's been seen. Are you addressing what's been seen? Are you addressing what's coming out of your person?
So how do you address it? Here's a question. Have you invited God to help you address your invisible guest? Because here's what I know about the Lord, what I've learned about him, the things that I share with him in my prayer time, in my secret time to work on, he will help.
Absolutely.
Holy Spirit is a helper.
Absolutely.
That's literally a part of what Holy Spirit means, what he encompasses, right? Mm-hmm. Help.
Absolutely. But it also says that he will make known all truth to men or to man. So any truth, any realization that you need to be made aware of, Holy Spirit will bring it. It will acknowledge it to you. It will show you.
It will definitely show you.
And how we know it's being acknowledged. The Bible says, let everything be established by what? The words of how many? Two or three of them. So if you have more than one person saying the same thing about your person, It's worth looking into. It's worth evaluating. If more than one person say, hey, you are not a nice person, you need to look into your person to see if you're really a nice person. Because what? More than one person has said it. And if more than one person has said it, that means more than one person has acknowledged there's a problem with how you handle people.
Yeah. And maybe it is, when you get into this certain situation, this is how you respond. It's no good. Right. Or maybe it is just overall as a person, you need to work on just your personality. Right. Been there on all accounts. So no shade, no condemnation, just calling it out, calling it as we see it.
Listen, you should have the ability to address things that need addressing.
Mm-hmm. It's worth evaluating.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
You should be able to hear someone say that you're not good at something. You should be able to hear somebody say, hey, in this area, I know you think you're nice, but you're really not nice. And this is why. And take the feedback that they're giving you and evaluate it.
Right. And I will tell you this, sometimes feedback doesn't come in, it's not always packaged nicely.
No. Nope.
Right? It's not always in a nice package. It doesn't always come with a bow. But what I'm learning, you hear me? Learning to do is take the emotion out of whatever is being presented and just take the words that are being said, the words that are coming out of their mouth, and detach it from, well, I felt they delivered it stank, or I felt you didn't talk to me right. Take all that out of it and just take the words that were said, the literal words that were said, lay them before the Lord and before myself, right? Because some things we asking God to do, and all you got to do, look at you, take a look in the mirror. Come on, Michael Jackson, man in the mirror.
Listen,
look in there.
In other words, what she's saying is disarm your emotions so you can hear truth.
Yes. Disarm
your emotion. Disarm how you're feeling. Disarm what may be coming to your mind and to your heart, and allow it to disarm all how you feel, because your feelings cannot lead to anything but feelings.
Feelings can only lead to feelings.
That's it. You ain't governed by no truth or nothing. You just feel it. This is how I feel. It make me feel this way. It make me feel like I want it. Like, no, disarm all that and hear truth, because now truth is going to bring truth to your feelings.
Absolutely. And that kind of plays very nicely into point number 3. Our relationships are directly affected by what we consume. So this is where we talked about those gates, right? So I'm gonna go to the ear gate first. All right. So I sound like somebody. Anyway, never mind. So with the ear gate, what voices are shaping your perspective?
Yes.
Is it the voice of your feelings and emotions? Is it the voice of the flesh? Is it the voice of the enemy? Right? There's a lot of options there. But here's what I also know. Sometimes we blaming the devil for stuff that is literally the flesh. There is a difference.
That's it.
There's a difference.
But this is the thing. When it comes to dealing with this stuff and disarming these areas, you need truth to help you disarm this stuff. You need insight. You need wisdom. You need people, because this is the thing. Just because somebody has something that's not what you consider to be the best thing to say about you, it doesn't mean that it's not true. And now, what voices are shaping how you're receiving that information? Mm-hmm. If you hang out with ultra emotional people all the time, then guess what you're going to be? You're going to be an ultra emotional person who has no ability to control themselves when truth is being given, because you are allowing ultra emotion to shape how you think from these perspectives. Mm-hmm. What are you watching on TV? What music are you listening to? All of this stuff is shaping your thoughts. It's shaping how you think. It's shaping how you process through your emotions and your feelings. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
If you're always watching all these dramatic shows and these depression shows, and you always depressed, I wonder why. If you always watching these shows where there's a whole bunch of aggression and you always aggressive, I wonder why. What's shaping how you're showing up, what you're putting yourself around.
Then some, for some that deal with comparison, comparing yourself to other people, comparing your relationship to others, basically, and we know, right, Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and and X, like Twitter, like all those things, people generally are showing the highlight reels of their life, right? They're showing the good moments. And I don't see anything wrong with that. What I see wrong is on the other side, people that are looking at that and expecting that that's everyday life all the time. And then because your life doesn't look like that, now you are minimizing yourself, or you're putting pressure on your spouse to live up to whatever that image is, right? To live up to what you're seeing on these highlight reels. We need to be in reality, not REEL, but REAL.
But not just that, what you're actually around. If you're around people that's convincing you to because everybody that spends a lot doesn't mean that they have it to spend. They could be spending recklessly, and it seems to you like they have it going on. And maybe they don't.
17 bankrupt.
Got payment after payment coming out because they don't did Klarna and all this other stuff, and you ain't paid nothing off. No. We see this is the thing. If that's what you put yourself around and you allow that to condition what you do and how you show up in areas, do you have enough self-discipline to not do something because somebody else is doing it and convincing you to do it?
What are you bringing to the table?
That's what I'm saying. Listen, at the end of the day, what we allow was allowed because we allowed it.
I love the way this is worded. Are you constantly comparing your relationships to carefully curated images of someone else's life, right? That's what I'm saying. You're not seeing the full picture all the time. It's carefully curated, which means I'm very specific of curating what I'm showing, how I'm putting it together to present it to you.
Absolutely. And check this out. And let's just say that's what they're doing, right? Who has a responsibility to know where they are and know what they can do and know what they cannot do? You. If I go out with my dad tomorrow and my dad want to go shopping and he out here flossing, he out here doing all the things, and I know I need to go out here and pay this car note, and I know I got this bill due. Do you think I'm going to allow my dad's flossing to encourage me to spend what I don't have? Absolutely not. Why? Because that's my responsibility. I don't care what my dad doing. I don't care what my friends is doing. I have a responsibility to my home and to my finances to know where I'm at and not to get pulled into a place that I can't live in that moment. That's my responsibility. I don't let people pull me places that I know at this particular point in juncture I can and neither should I live. And then you wonder why you get to the end of the month, you ain't got what you need, you frustrated, now you mad because you can't pay your bills, and now you can't get that shirt or you can't eat the food that you want to eat because you made bad decisions hanging out with other people. Come on, man. We got to do better in those spaces. We got to know for us, managing you, looking at you and say, if you can't hang around these people, stop going around them. If you can't be disciplined or walk in self-control, stop going around them until you can. See, that's what self-evaluation will allow you to do. Self-evaluation with truth will allow you to look at your situation and say, nah, I still got a little growth I need to make there. So until I can be around you and operate in my growth, I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna stay back. I'm not going, because I'm easily influenced to make bad choices when I get around people who have influence in my life. That's just what it is. And if that's you, I'm not saying that that's bad. What I'm saying is now let's acknowledge where we are and make the appropriate adjustments. Because now you can't be mad when you don't have the ability to do certain things when you were you were the reason why you're there. Now you mad at everybody else except who? You. Look at yourself in that mirror and say, you know what? We did this. We're going to get out of this.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. So essentially, whatever enters your gates will eventually influence how you show up in your relationships. All right. So again, whatever enters your gates eventually shows up and influences how we show up. Eventually influences how we show up in relationship.
All right, do this. You go out, right? You go out with some friends, right? Y'all go out to eat. And normally you don't eat sweets. Normally you don't eat after 7 o'clock.
Well,
normally you are self-controlled. You get around everybody, and everybody is, oh, I'm going to get me some of this ice cream. I'm going to get me some of these Twinkies and Ho-Hos. I'm going to get me some golden Oreos. Oh, I'm just going, oh. And then all of a sudden, guess what? It jumps on you. You be like, you know what? I'm going to have me one of them cookies too. You know what? I want some of that ice cream too. And you know you lactose intolerant.
Oh, no.
Ice cream going to tear you up. And you don't sit there and let everybody convince you to do something that you normally have discipline in. You see what I'm saying?
So you're not showing up as you. You're blending in with whatever for the sake of whatever.
Get that invisible guest came. The blend-in guest came and sat at the table. That invisible guest just sat down and like, hey, we're going to eat right now because everybody else is eating. No, you don't have to do that. Keep your discipline. Okay. Or if you want to meet in the middle of the road, just get something, but don't get what everybody else got. Don't get a big portion. Ask them, do they have a baby portion? I'm just saying. I'm just trying to give help here. You know what I'm saying? What's next?
So number 4, and we're rounding home. Healthy relationships require healthy contributions to be brought to the table.
Absolutely.
If you want a healthy relationship, you need to bring a healthy contribution.
Absolutely.
To the table. All right. So basically, it's not saying that you're perfect, but it is saying that you're consistently desiring to be healthy, a healthy individual and a healthy contributing partner in the relationship, whether it is a marriage, whether it is a friendship, on your job. You need to be a healthy contributor.
When was the last time you asked one of your friends or asked somebody that you have gained or given the ability to have influence in your life, how am I showing up? When's the last time you asked that? Because that should be a question that you ask. When you care about how you show up in front of people or to those people who matter to you, that should be a question that you ask on a pretty consistent basis. You should be able to show up and say, okay, how am I showing up? How in your world, how do I handle you? And don't control their response or reaction to your question. Take it. And while they're talking, write down the pointers. I show up this way. I show up this way. They said I do this. Go to someone else and ask them the same thing. How do I show up? And let's see. You should get at least 2. Get at least 2 or 3 people. And now, what do? Ask them the same question. You write down your answers and see if their answers are similar. If their answers are similar 9 times out of 10, guess what? That's an area you need to work on. That's the thing you need to start correcting. Because guess what? What did we say earlier? Self-evaluation is what? Best evaluation. How do you evaluate yourself? You go ask the people who are doing life with you,
Yeah.
how you're showing up.
The people that are experiencing you
Absolutely. Don't just
on a regular basis.
don't ask yourself because you get high off your own supply. Stop getting high off your own supply. No. Ask other people and tell them to be truthful with you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's not to guilt you, right? It's not to bring any condemnation, but it's an invitation for growth. It's an invitation to grow.
Absolutely.
To grow and to growth.
Absolutely.
Into growth.
And ultimately, growth should be what you're after. Getting better should be what you're after. If I'm after getting better, then I have to put myself in an environment where better can happen.
Yeah, for sure.
I gotta be willing to let people tell me, "Hey, Joe, when you get here, you show up this way." You know, my dad tell me all the time, "Joe, slow down. You talk too fast. You get too excited." And I'm trying to work on it. Some of it is just I'm a passionate person, and I want you to hear everything that the Lord has given me. And sometimes I can't slow it down. So what I do? I stay mindful. I hear my dad's voice right now. "Joe, slow down. Stop talking so fast." Or let other people say something, Joe. You don't always got to have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
For real talk. Like sometimes you don't always have to have something to say. That's good feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Because you will get in moments where your silence is necessary.
Silence. What's that saying? Silence is golden.
Absolutely.
And at times it truly is.
Or silence is a virtue.
Well, patience is a virtue, for sure, and so is silence.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of times when we start considering these things out of our social norms, you know, like don't let yes man pump your head up, man. Like don't let people who just rah you all the time. No. Like sometimes I'm not good, and I need to hear real feedback.
Yep. And it's nothing wrong with being told that you're good in an area, right? It's nothing wrong with that. But to his point, just the balance of sometimes you need to know where you could shore up a little bit.
Absolutely. And make getting balanced feedback a part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Make asking other people how you are as a person, make that a priority. And go to wise people, go to people who care and who will give you the appropriate feedback, but make that a priority.
Absolutely.
Because if you want to get better, or if you want to show up as your best self, this is how you show up as your best self.
Mm-hmm.
Be aware of how you showing up, good and or bad.
Yep. So as we wrap it up, I mean, just here's a nugget. You may not be able to control what other people bring to the table, like other relationships. You can't control what they bring, but you can absolutely control what you bring.
Amen.
Right. And so again, guard those gates, because whatever you're allowing yourself to consume is going to show up in that relationship.
Absolutely.
And so
have you looked at to see if we had any comments at all?
I did. We just kind of like people chiming in saying that's good. I agree. Like those kinds of things.
All right. Well, we are glad that you guys decided to come out here and hang out with us. Hopefully you take the information and get better. That's why we share the information, not just so that we can talk, but also that you can get information. We can get information that helps us all get better. Because guess what? Let me give you something. Let me give you this nugget. Wait for it. We are better together.
Yeah.
We're better together. We need you. You need us. We need each other. We're better together. And I know right now we're living in a culture that's not pushing unity, that's not pushing love. But guess what? We all need one another.
Mm-hmm.
We are better together. The Bible says that the two are better than one. We need one another. So we love you guys. You have anything you want to add, you want to say before we get out of
Love
here?
y'all very much. Thanks for joining the conversation tonight.
Absolutely.
And we'll see y'all this same time next week.
Next week. And listen, know this. We are working hard to get this dang conference. We are.
I want you to stop saying that.
I am. I know. I got it. I'm saying this for me. I'm saying it for me because I'm getting frustrated with people. I'm saying it for me because it is truthfully a desire in my heart. God has placed it on my heart. So, yeah, that's it.
Great things are coming. I
Absolutely.
do know that.
Absolutely. Love you guys. Have a great one. We'll see you same time, same place next Monday.
Love you.
Love you. Peace.